Again, tonight's meeting and our ordering zoning and appeals. If everybody please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Establish a quorum and have that tonight. So next order of business is the last meeting, August 20th. Might entertain a motion. Please admit that.
Aye.
Is your name on
Yeah, mine's on there.
there? We can,
When he's president of the board, he can sign, he just couldn't vote because he wasn't here.
I've got no problem doing it. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
there's no
go
problem.
ahead and let him sign it, we'll just mark it on and add that. And we've been having a lot of trouble with the recording voices, so speak into the microphone. A lot of complaints from people that they're not hearing. Trying to get people to come up.
The next order, the next order of business is swearing participants that plan on speaking at tonight's meeting. And Gary, if you would, please. Everybody plans on speaking, would they please stand?
Swear to tell the whole truth, so help you God.
Thank you very much, Gary. We've got three items tonight. The first one is a development standard variance request of section 4.3B1A to permit an accessory structure to exceed 1,000 square feet in area. Do you want to cover all three of these at the same time, even though we vote on them? Or you want to do
Yeah,
it?
I think you can.
Okay. And then the second one is a development standard variance request of section 4.3B1.C to permit an accessory structure to exceed the maximum height of 15 feet. And the third one is a development standard variance request of section 11.6B, development standard for off-street parking to allow an overflow parking area that does not comply with the design, construction, landscaping, and screening. So, Lisa, if you would, please.
Okay, so this is an application, as you just read, for three separate variances. This is for the Calvary Chapel Church. They are needing space, additional storage space, equipment, holiday, or storage of holidays. They're also asking to put an overflow parking lot with just gravel. And they will, the staff is recommending that that is the requirement. Mr. Stroop is in the office, and he can address any questions you might have.
I've got a question. What is the town's position on not having lots and stuff? And does it depend on where they're at versus, say, someone wanting to do one behind
Yeah.
here? Would you approve it there and not?
I haven't had any experience with the town, and I think for me, it would depend on the use. So if it was, like, it's a church, it's not gonna be a high-end, they're not gonna be having people parking there every day of the week. So in my opinion, I don't think it's that big of a deal as long as they make a commitment. At some point in the future, pave it, which their property has asphalt now. It's very nice. So I think that would be something that they would probably want to do anyway. But I think being a church, I don't think that they need to not be required to do it, but maybe give some flexibility in allowing them to maybe recoup some costs from
That'd be the
that.
same for landscaping and everything else that goes with it?
So when they would decide to asphalt it or whatever they use to pave it, then at that time, they would have to do the landscaping around the perimeter, wheel stops, all of the requirements that are in the parking section of the ordinance.
I think if you note, Kevin, the difference is much like what Lisa's saying. She came from the county side of it, and it's so large of developments out there, 5 acres, 10 acres, farms. Yeah, gravel parking or gravel driveways are the norm, but I think the difference is that this is an urban setting, and the expectation is for parking lots to be finished.
Well, that's why I wondered how, when's this okay and when it's not.
Well, the
And-
other thing is if you look at like some of your self-storage facilities, a lot of times they'll just do gravel. Should, or they don't need to, but I think has to do with intensity.
I think the runoff, it's still an impervious surface
Right.
for qualifying on stormwater.
Thank you.
I don't particularly have a problem with them building it that way for the right now, but what I would like to hear from them, if they could give us a time when they could commit to have that blacktop. 1 year, 2
Mr.
years?
Stroop?
Yeah, if you, yes, please.
I would say 2, but maybe 3 years. I mean, we're not a business. We're not a money-making business. We're a church. And so to save up to build this building is a big deal. And to pave that area right now would be impossible. We're growing. We've got a lot of young families, and we hope to actually build an addition at some time soon. And we fully intend to pave the parking area. For the most part, as it says in there, we would only use it on Sunday morning. There would be very little traffic on it. We just have 2 services, and so we get a little congested in and out with parking space. And some people who serve in both services, it'd be a lot easier if they could find a place out of the way.
I have a question for Gary. Is there a time how long gravel should sit before you asphalt it so it settles?
Depends upon the depth at which you put it in.
I
Give you-
don't think you'd want to do it right.
Give you
right
an
away.
example, in Berry Knoll, there's a large retention system there. And, the question was, well, how are we going to maintain this dam if we can't get out there? So what we put in was a green road. Halfway up, we put in riprap, and then we brought in some soil, and then we put in some stone, then we brought in some soil. So it's able to handle the weight of a back truck or a backhoe or anything like that. It might have to go in there. But it's usually a good 4 or 5 inches.
Well, I'm thinking, you say 2, 3, maybe 3 years. Could you commit to 3 years if we put that in the minutes? And when the 3 years is up, if you don't have the money yet, I guess you'd have to come back and ask for an extension.
Sure,
Correct.
absolutely. Commit to
What
that.
do you guys think? Does that make sense? I understand your churches are strapped for money sometimes. As long as they can pay your salary, it's okay. That's kind of what our pastor said.
Yeah, well, we're a fraternity.
You probably know him, you know PT. PT Wilson? You haven't met him yet?
Where at?
He's at the Methodist Church.
Okay, no, I don't.
Interesting man, you ought to get to know him.
Well, send him my way. I've been here 32 years.
Have you really?
He needs to come see me.
Well, he meets with some of the pastors every week for breakfast.
Yeah? Okay.
I'll mention that.
Okay, do that.
What's your name?
Stroop, Roger Stroop.
Got a brother Gary just retired out in Vegas.
Yes, he did.
I will make sure he comes and sees you.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions on any of the 3 variances? We'll hear them, we'll vote on them and take them individually, but as we're talking about each one. Questions on the others two?
I understand the needing the extra height because of the size of the doors, 12 feet.
Plus it's 16 acres.
Oh, yeah. He's putting it along that tree line there.
And if I could add, we have been, we've had some of these requests before you because you've got properties that are large and the 1,000 square feet is not, not a lot for a large parcel. So
I think you live in one of them.
I do. So at some point in the future, we're gonna be looking at amending zoning ordinance to just do a percentage of the lot so that we can maybe not have all these coming before you.
Try and make sure that the accessory structure remains subordinate to the principal.
Absolutely. Yes.
So Lisa, in 3 years, it will come up that they met their commitment to.
What we'll do is they'll have to record, they can record a commitment. Here's to check. And then they'll have to come back to.
So they don't have to do the landscaping either then?
Well, it wouldn't make any sense to put landscaping in and
Well,
then come
no.
back and pave it, because they'd probably end up having to,
Or,
no.
I don't even know, is there landscaping along those other parking lots? I
Probably
see some in
not.
front of the one.
Bradford pear trees, which was a bad idea, by the way.
Probably got them too close together, didn't you?
Yeah, Cox's Plant Farm put them too close together, but I'm not naming names.
Well, I decided to get Cleveland pears when I put mine in, because they're more wind resistant. Okay? I put them what I thought was plenty far apart. They're almost solid.
They've been blown over in the wind here, branches, they're not good trees.
Have any questions? Any of the three? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Open it to the public, which I think is sparse tonight. So close it to the public part of the meeting and put it amongst the group here. Any conversation or questions or anything? Then I'd entertain a motion for the first one, please.
I'll make a motion. I move that we approve the variance sought by petitioner Roger Troop, Mike Mathis on behalf of Calvary Church of Danville, and BZA petition number 19-19 to allow an accessory structure of 2,352 square feet in area on property located at 2165 East Main Street. This petition has satisfied the requirements for variances under state law for the following reasons. One, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of fact. Two, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of fact. Number three, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. I move that this approval be made to no conditions.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Gary, if you would, please.
Roll call vote. Kevin Tussey,
Aye.
Dr. Swords,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Sheets.
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
It is therefore the decision of this body that this variance petition is approved, subject to the conditions, which there were none. We'll move on to the second item, please.
I move that we approve the variance sought by petitioner Rogers Troop and Mike Mathis on behalf of Calvary Church of Danville in BZA petition number 19-20 to allow an accessory structure to have a maximum height of 18 feet on property located at 2165 East Main Street. This petition has satisfied the requirements for variance under state law for the following reasons. The approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of facts. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. B, for the reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed findings of fact. 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of this property. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And I move that this approval be made subject to the following conditions, no conditions.
Okay, thank you very much. Gary, if you would again, please.
Did we have a second on that?
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. Do we have a second on?
Make a second.
We have a second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Tussey?
Aye.
Mr. Swords?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Sheets? Aye. Vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
Is there for the decision of this body that this variance petition is approved subject to the condition? And then we'll move to the third item tonight. Have a motion for that one.
It's your turn, Cody.
And coming down the line, baby.
You can take it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I move that we approve the variance sought by petitioners Roger Stroop and Mike Mathis on behalf of the Calvary Church of Danville in BZA petition number 19-21 to allow an overflow parking lot to be constructed of gravel and not to require striping, landscaping, screening, and lighting for such parking lot on property located at 2165 East Main Street. This petition has satisfied the requirements for variance under state law for the following reasons. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. B, for the reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. B, for reasons stated in the petitioner's proposed finding of fact. And I move that this approval be made subject to the following conditions. The commitment to pave and other items,
As required by the ordinance.
thank you, as required by the ordinance, to be completed within 3 years of this date. Fine?
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Gary, if you would, please.
Kevin Tussey?
Aye.
Swords?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Sheets?
Aye.
Vote aye, motion carries 5-0.
It is therefore the decision of this body that this variance petition is approved subject to the conditions made part of the adopted motion. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, gentlemen.
I'll get with you on doing the commitment, okay?
See ya.
Thank you.
Item of business is Board of Officers.
We do.
Okay.
We do have one for next year. At least one. I can't remember what it is.
Is there anything else? Next item is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.